Good day, all. Welcome to the Detroit Cast with Mike, with Jay. Shalom, Piggy. Hello, Jay.
Hello, everybody.
How are you, pal?
Quite well.
Doing all right?
Yeah.
Yeah? E, welcome back. Can you turn your shirt down just a little bit?
Welcome back.
Yeah, I know. You had a big road trip yesterday.
Made it to and from Grand Rapids.
I will say, and I was more than happy to do it, to be honest with you. It's a situation I was glad to be able to do.
Yep.
But driving just to Grand Rapids, eating dinner, and then driving right back, I mean,
Sucks.
that's 4 hours. You know,
yeah.
it's like driving to Chicago versus driving there and hanging around for a little bit at least and then driving
Sure.
back. But
Sure.
it was all right. I was
Good.
happy.
You made it back in one piece.
Yeah.
Conversation was good.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
shit in the trunk.
We went hiking at Kensington for a few hours actually, and then
Really?
yeah.
Before your trek?
Picked her up, and then she really likes nature and shit, and I do too. So we went to Kensington, and we walked around this nature trail for a few hours.
You guys getting out in the woods?
No.
Good boy.
No.
Boy.
No,
Take your
but-
time, Easus. No rush.
But there, it was fun. We did that, and then we just drove to Grand Rapids and listened to a bunch of music, and then went to dinner and dropped her off and went home.
Where'd you go to dinner?
I know it's not the greatest,
Oh,
but
no.
I mean, it is what it is. You know what? It was late.
Burger King.
Applebee's. I mean, I know. But you know what, dude? It was late. I had the 2-hour
Jay, any
ride
problem
home.
with Applebee's?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. but
yeah.
You know what?
me
It was better than I thought.
in a pinch, I guess.
Yeah.
We were gonna maybe go to
Standard
Bob
American fare.
I know.
Sure.
I know.
Sure.
We were,
No different than Fridays or anyone else.
No.
You know what happened is when we were doing the drive, when we get done with the hike, and stuff like that, it was like 6:30ish, and I said, I'm gonna need to eat some food, and she's like, yeah, me too. I'm like, okay, and we just started driving and listening to the music, and at one point we got close enough to her home where hey, do you want to just? I mean, she doesn't eat as much, so I'm like, do you want to just have me drop you off, and I'll just get food on the way home, or do you still want to sit down and do like a dinner? And she's like, no, I'd like to sit down. But then we just, we're on the highway, and we're just like, this exit had Bob Evans, Logan's, and Applebee's. Bob Evans was closed.
This is good news for Isis,
And-
though. 'Cause
Yeah.
that door was open for him to just drop her at the
Yeah,
house
she
and
said-
gone. And
you
she's
know-
like, no, I'll take another hour with Isis.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
after many hours, it
Yeah.
sounds like
Well,
with Easus, that you're right. It could have easily been like, because E would have been playing it up to us like, no, it was a long day. She was tired. And
She doesn't eat much.
Yeah, she doesn't eat much. So she was just like, no, drop my ass off at the door and get the fuck
Well, look
out
at
of
here. I don't want to brag here or anything, but she really didn't even have to do this trip. Like, she was in Grand Rapids on Sunday, and a friend was like wanted her to meet a fiance that she is like, oh, you've never met my fiance or whatever, and so he offered to drive her back, and she was considering just taking the bus on Monday. And she was not going to do it if I wasn't going to be able to drive her home in the end. So I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
All right, so she sought out Easus'
She
services.
wanted to spend time with me. So.
And how much of Isis's cash does Applebee's now have?
Yeah.
$40.
All right, he paid.
Oh, okay.
Paid.
You paid for the full thing?
Yeah.
And what did you get
I got a shrimp,
on the Barbie?
no, shrimp like fajitas. She got some pasta thing and a drink. I didn't get a drink because I was like, it just wasn't worth it. I'm going to drive home for 2 hours. It's 10 o'clock at
Man,
night.
she was trying to get E sauced a little bit.
I
You
know.
didn't see that was a subtle hint. E,
No.
you could have slammed 2 cocktails, make them stiff, and then be like, "Oof,
can't-
boy, I wish I could drive home, but man, just
Nah.
feeling a little tipsy here.
Nah,
It'd
that
probably
was-
be safer if I just crashed in your bed tonight."
Nah. No. I'm okay with that one. It was fun. To
Good.
be honest, it was really fun.
So we're still on. We didn't get any door slammed in our faces.
No, we're still.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there was a.
You
I
I
saw-
kiss on the way out, did you?
You know what? I'm not going to get
Oh.
too much into it, but it's a slow situation. But there was a. There's some hand holding and hugging going on. So
What?
I mean,
Whoa. Hugging?
yeah.
What would be a
I mean, a
moment
hug at
that
the
would
end, I guess.
require
But,
a
there
hug?
was stops along the hiking trail that lent to sitting on a bench with
Now, when you say hug, like Jay and I could come in for a hug, come in with
No,
that high
okay.
handshake,
A
and then the
guy-girl
shoulder hug,
hug,
like
man.
bro,
Hug.
bro hug,
girl hug.
like titties pressed up against,
Yes.
like the whole thing, like
yes,
waist, shoulder.
yes.
Okay, all
An
right.
embrace.
An embrace.
A
Actually,
loving
there
embrace.
was even a moment in the hiking that there was a 20 minutes or so of sitting on the grass just looking at clouds. So you know what I mean?
Of course there was.
I like looking at clouds, so we got that
Sure.
in common.
Did you see shapes and stuff? In the
Yeah, of
clouds?
course. There was arguments on what the shapes were.
Okay,
so.
good. This sounds like a perfect couple. You found your soulmate.
She's
E.
kind of a hippie, which I like.
Yeah,
She's
I saw a
real
picture of her.
hippie.
You showed me a one picture of her, and I was like, wow, she's cute.
Yeah, and she's
She's cute
like
for
a
sure.
legit hippie, like to the like not like I know so many fucking fake hippies that go to these EDM festivals. I went with one. You know, I never talked about it a lot, but when I went the first time to the forest. You know, I took this girl thinking that like she would really appreciate this, and she's like, what you would think of one of these hippie kind of girls, no
and she
vibes.
was irritated, not
Dude,
into it.
I never really talked about it, but it was literally a nightmare. She was a disaster.
Yeah.
and that's how she is. She's like
She was
she'll-
actually a princess. Was she?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Oh, is
That's-
that-
that's-
okay.
Yeah. You
But yeah.
took a stuck-up fucking bitch that likes to dress the part.
She's not even stuck up. She talks the part, but it's just so fake in the end. It's like so
Yeah.
like the example I could give. I won't say too much about it, but this is the best example I could give. We're going into the forest. I hadn't even been there before. First time going to a festival.
Is this
a
the one
camping
up
festival.
north?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have like several lines that you get in where they search the cars. They don't. You know, they got to look for the drugs and shit. Some lines don't look as much as others, but it's probably more just for legal to say, yep, we search every car, we look up in the trunk, yada, yada. Anyway, there's about 6 lines. I saw one that looked a little shorter, so I just got into it. Turns out those people were searching a little harder than some of the others. This person had some stuff on her. I wasn't bringing anything other than
Were
beer.
you aware she had stuff on
Yeah.
her?
I didn't, whatever.
What does she
And-
have, like weed or something?
I think
Shrooms?
some shrooms or some shit like that. And,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Anyway, and it turns out these people ended up being people that searched a little harder than other people did. And we get through it, and this is how I should have known the weekend was going to go. Because we get out of the line, and she goes, "Yeah, I had a bad vibe about that line, but you just got in, and so I didn't know what to do after that." I'm like,
She
"Oh,
blamed
really?
you.
Oh, really?"
You
Yeah.
picked the wrong line.
That's when you just turn
And
around and go, you know what? We're going to do the forest next year. Alone.
Oh, we never, I was trying to be nice the time after that happened, but we had a moment, you know how anti-confrontational I am, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
we had a moment, we were sitting in the media tent, and she started lecturing me on whether I was working hard enough or something, and I'm like, I had set up a few interviews, and we did talk to a band and a
Oh,
DJ.
I remember this one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think I said it on the show, though, to be honest with you. I probably
Yeah.
told you, but and at one point I was like, you know what? I know what I'm doing. You're here because of me. And I'm like, and to the extent that we're going to talk about the festival,
Yeah,
it's gonna
you
be
know
me.
what your show is
Right,
and
I
what-
know what yes. And we went back and forth, and she really was like, at one point she was like, well, seems like you don't care that much about this. And I literally said, you know what? I got to get out of here. And I walked away. I didn't see her the rest of the day that day. I don't know what she did the rest of that day, but I was fucking done.
You got media passes for
Yeah.
Forest, and they offered you a media tent where bands were going to
Yeah.
come through or DJs, whatever.
Right.
You could interview them, and she was your guest, and so you got 2 media passes. And,
Yeah.
under the guise of she's going to be my wingman
Right.
helper or whatever, and she's busting your balls about
I
not
told-
working hard enough
I
in the
s-
media area, and he's thinking the whole time. Basically, Mike and Jay do not give a shit to run these interviews on the show.
I told her even going in, I'm like, at the time I wasn't making as much money here, so I was just seeing that as a benefit, this cool thing. I get to go, and I told her going in, hey, this is just gonna be more of a cool thing for me. We might we might talk to some people, and we still did, by the way. And I'm like, we might talk to some people, but mostly it's gonna be me exploring, and then next year maybe I'll take it, whatever.
Yeah.
And so she knew that going in, and she got in this argument with me, and I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. And I walked away, dude. I was done for the day.
Good for you.
Anyway.
Yeah,
So
you-
this girl's the opposite of that, is my point. She's
good.
she's actually genuine in her beliefs of
Yeah, I
some of
hope
that
I
stuff.
hope this works out. You deserve it.
I do
You're a
too.
good boy. And I've told you from day one, there's someone for everyone. You just got to find the right one, and maybe this is the one. Who knows?
Maybe.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
I know you're excited. I'm happy to see you excited. I know Jay is as well. And you got Applebee's out of the way. Speaking of dinner, dude, right before I come down here, Jay, another box on the porch.
Is it Jeffrey's meal again?
No, it's mine. Just a second copy of it.
Huh.
Just another.
For free?
This is-
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe they're trying to win
Hadn't
your.
you complained? You hadn't complained?
No, haven't said a word. They sent me Jeffrey's gay man order,
Yeah.
right? And then they sent me my order, and then I'm like, what in the fuck is?
All right.
Why are they back on the porch again? I go out there, open it up, and I'm like, 6 delicious meals for Mike.
So you're going to
like-
complain because it was so late? Hey, man, this is last week's order.
What are you supposed to do? Why? There's not a note in there or anything like, hey, we know we fucked up. We gave you Jeffrey's meals.
So wait a minute, you never said anything, and you haven't.
I
gotten
never
your-
said a word.
So you went through his meals, never said anything, and now
Yeah, how
this
were
one
they,
for
by
you
the way?
came.
T-Roy seemed to enjoy him. I ate one. Well, no. Did I not tell you they did send my meals?
No,
I was trying
that's
to.
what,
No, that's what I was just asking.
So this is another set of your meals?
Yes.
Okay.
They sent Jeffrey's meals. The
Yes.
next day, I get another case. They're my meals. And I'm like, okay, Well, this is for Jeffrey to deal with. As far as I know, that got lost in a warehouse somewhere. I didn't sign for anything. I didn't order it. I didn't pay for it. I'm not going to be bothered. I got what I ordered. I'm happy.
Right.
A week later,
Same order. You didn't reorder. Is it one of these things where they just re-up on you? Like
no.
No?
Because I thought that too. Like, they're not, I'm not in some fucking, like,
Program.
Columbia House thing where they're just sending me new CDs every month and I got to fucking opt
Unless
out.
you opt out, they're just going to keep coming with spaghetti and meatballs every week.
Wouldn't that be weird, though? I mean, I haven't, done a deep dive into this, but
I don't know how these work.
to
so.
send me the same meals over and over. Because
Dude, I wouldn't put it past a company like this. I mean, this is how this shit works, right? You want the auto pay. Auto pay is key.
well,
So there might have been small writing.
yeah,
you didn't
okay.
review.
All right, I'll look into it. But did you want to know what I ordered? I can tell you guys what I actually ordered. And I ordered 2 of each, one for me, one for T. Roy. I was telling
But
you guys
this
that.
is not different than what you told us before, right?
I thought we
This
were
is
talking
just-
about,
No, I told you what Jeffrey got. I didn't tell
no,
you
you
what.
told us.
I thought you were talking about like spaghetti and meatballs
Yeah.
and stuff.
No,
or-
the buffalo chicken with loaded cauliflower, the Mexican style shredded beef with masa cakes. I think
See, I want to say
mentioned
this is a
that.
totally different order.
No. This is the one I ordered. Steak peppercorn with sautéed carrots and French green beans. I ordered those 3 in duplicate.
Okay, I could swear you had a different order that you told us.
Yeah, I did. Jeffrey's.
No, yours.
No. This is what I
I think he
ordered.
was just giving. I think he just gave examples.
I think I was just giving examples, like
spaghetti and
shit I ordered. I ordered spaghetti and meatballs, and I couldn't remember what it was.
Gotcha.
But now you're getting the actual list. So if anyone's hungry, I've got a lot of meals to get through, and
And you'll have the same ones next week, apparently.
dude, I mean, if there's not a charge,
If I find.
and if I've had, what if there's a charge and they're like, oh yeah,
There very well may be one.
you think so?
I do. Again, I don't know anything about these companies, but that would be
I would look
one
into it
thing.
for
yeah.
sure.
I would agree with you,
You might
except
have
that
not
they're
checked
sending.
a box or something.
I don't think they would do that and send you the same 3 meals every week. Right? I mean, they've got hundreds of options.
Yeah.
And the whole point is the variety and mixing things up. Like, if you got into a revolving thing where you check the thing off every week, oh, this week I want these 6 items, next week I want these 6, that's one thing. But to just send me,
I'd look into it, man.
Yeah, I will.
I could see it
I
like,
will.
hey, he hasn't changed his order, so boom, this
will.
week's goes out and it's the same.
I will look into it now that you mentioned, now that you're scaring me a touch. Hey, I wanted to mention a couple things. Remember our boys down in Australia? Mixed up everything?
Yeah.
The little guys out on the beach playing a rock songs
Yeah,
and
Hanson,
stuff.
but better, right?
Yeah, way better. Yeah, these.
Sorry, guys.
Oh my
Definitely
God.
better than Hanson.
Oh my God! If they were listening, they're bummed right
That
now.
little girl drummer in Hanson, huh?
Yeah. What's up with Hanson?
They're still out,
are
man.
they?
They do
Are
good.
they?
They do well.
Do they?
Yeah.
Mbop?
Yeah, seriously, you know what? I saw a video of them a little bit ago, this might have been a year ago at this point, but like 20th anniversary of that, they did a performance, and I think they just lean into it, and they're not going to, Palace or anything like that, but I think they
still
go and,
tour.
they still tour,
Yeah.
and they just do little venues.
They were big enough with a
They
big
wrote
enough
other
young
songs,
following.
apparently. Apparently they really did have an okay catalog, I guess, if you like them. Look, I don't
They
know,
were like
but I'm
a
just
watered
saying.
down version of Silverchair. Right? Remember Silverchair?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Australian.
Yeah, were they Australian too? Yeah. I remember them coming to town and playing somewhere in their parents' side stage because they were 12 and 13 or something.
I just remember, I haven't paid any attention. I watched that video. I ended up watching the whole video because it was interesting seeing them do it like 20 years later and they're like adults and stuff. And I just read the comments, and I just remember feeling like when I read the comments, people like, oh my God, I hope they come around. Like, it just seemed like people were more excited than just to hear this one song. So
Yeah. And you were right. It turns out, who is it? Fallout Boy?
Yeah.
You were saying they could sell out
Yeah.
LCA or whatever?
Yeah.
Amanda texted me and said, as a matter of fact, I don't think they sold it out, but they came close
Yeah.
to selling out LCA last time they were
Yeah.
here. So I apologize
all right.
for thinking they would play, someone's garage party
Right.
or something
Right.
these days. But no, I just think of that as a much bigger stadium than they would be doing. But whatever, it's
Yeah.
good. Mixed Up Everything is recording a new album. Ex Nilo, I think was the. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know what that means. Ex Nilo, Nihilo was the name of their previous album, which did well. They raised the money themselves and paid for it themselves. They've got a little Kickstarter going. Do you have the
yeah.
the donation thing up there? And it looks like they're getting close already.
I don't get what's. I don't know if there's something up with the update on their feed, because I've looked at this and it says they have 7%, but it also says 0 on the bottom. So I don't know.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of fans. And I went on there on YouTube, there's a video of them talking about it. Hey, we're trying to raise money to go into a proper studio and record this. They say it's going to take us X amount of time and about 10 grand. We've saved about $3,000, so we're trying to make like 7 grand if we can grassroots, make that. And the comments, of which there are a shitload, are all people like, oh my God, donating now, donating now, donating now.
I don't know.
So I find it hard to believe that they're going to struggle to hit that number.
Is that a Kickstarter, GoFundMe? What is it?
It looks like it's just on their own webpage. Like I tried when I.
They're using something. I was hoping you had. Did you have it up there? Where did
Maybe
it go?
this is. Oh, I looked at this one. Here's a different one I found. I guess so. Maybe this is more accurate because
Kiss Kiss Bank Bank. That's what they're using. So it's just another one like whether it's GoFundMe or Kickstarter or whatever.
Where is it?
Hey
Did I
folks,
see?
blah blah blah. Yeah, and they're doing stuff like if you make a donation, you'll get a special copy of the CD or something, or a special shout out if you give this
I
much.
saw money when I pulled before I pulled up here. I thought I actually saw a list of more money. Like they were like 30% of their goal, but I don't freaking. There we go.
So yeah, so they're trying to raise 7 grand. They've got 2,300 pounds, whatever. It's close enough.
Look at those lads.
Yeah, hit play on that video. That Mixed Up Everything new album. Let's see if they can sell it. Look at these dudes. They're allergic to shirts. Is I think what's going on. Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Todd, it's Kevin, Toby.
Look how big Tobe's getting. Tobe's getting
know that
huge.
we got some pretty exciting stuff coming your way.
How fun does that look?
We have,
You know what I mean? They're out in the countryside somewhere.
I don't know what's going on there.
we have a brand new album
That's
coming
right.
soon.
Yeah.
We're here in Belgium. We found a great studio. Everything's looking good. We got some awesome material as well.
Yeah.
So we're
It's sounding sick. It's sounding sick.
dying for you. Yeah. We've crunched the numbers. We reckon it's going to cost us around 10,000 euros to produce everything.
Yeah.
To get everything sorted for the new album. We got around a couple of
thousand in the bank.
So we'll need your
Couple of
donation
thousand in the
so
bank.
you can help us get the artwork ready and the
Yeah, Tobes.
scene and
That's so
mastering.
Tobes.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
CD
plays a
printing
bass
as
that's bigger than
There's a lot
him.
of things, and we guys need you to achieve this.
So we're asking
God,
7,000
these
from you
fucking-
guys. It might sound a lot, but that's all we need to produce an album. We're using this crowdfunding.
So anyways,
website
The
called-
shirtlessness is awesome.
Isn't it
It's
great?
Very Spicoli.
Isn't it great? They will never experience a farmer's tan
Right.
ever. So anyway, where can they go? E, if people, I mean, you could just search Mixed Up Everything.
yeah.
Kiss, kiss, bank, bank.
Kiss Kiss Bank Bank, Mixed Up Everything new album, and yeah, they've got 20 days remaining, and I'll pop on there and give them a few bucks, help them along the way. Hopefully our listeners will too. They did that really cool. They did Sponge, they did Plowed,
Yeah.
and then sent the shout out to Vinny and to the Detroit cast, which was really cool. And I read a lot of the comments on there when they posted that one, and people were really like, holy shit, I forgot how cool this band was. What a great song. It's making me go look at my 90s catalog and da-da-da. Some, you need to do some other bands from that era. And so it was kind of cool to see that spark from those guys. So we'll mention that as we go here. But Mixed Up Everything. Good guys, good lads down under.
Good lads.
And if we can help them out, let's do it. So also wanted to mention Robert Kelly, comedian, stand-up comic Robert Kelly.
Bobby.
Bobby Kelly, fat, bald guy, funny as shit. We had him on the show, Jay. Trying to remember, that was, about a year ago?
Ish.
Probably, yeah.
And I can't remember, he was coming to town. And E, I think you and I went to that show
Yes.
that night.
Was it in
Correct.
Hamtramck?
It was.
Yes, yeah. And it was really good.
It was really good.
he
I
was-
laughed the entire time.
Like he had,
Sure.
there's a few opening comics that came on, local guys, and they're okay. And
Right.
we were hanging backstage with them before the show, and then Robert comes out and just lights the stage on fire,
Right.
just crushes. And he's coming to town. Well, sort of coming to town. He's coming to our neighbors to the north, coming to Windsor at Haddon's Comedy Club in Windsor. 2 shows only. Friday, September 27th, 7 and 9 p.m. You can get tickets at robertkellyalive.com. That's Kelly with 1 E. haddons.com as well. HAHAHADDONS.com. 519-564-0787. And we're working on getting some tickets that maybe we can give away to that show. We're trying for that right now and hook up some of our Canadian listeners who a lot of times miss out on events around here. They're not eligible for stuff in the United States.
Can't
the
get
Rush-
across the border.
yeah, well, the Russian 5 stuff, only eligible to Ohio and Michigan residents and shit like that. So they're like, come on, man. And so hopefully we can give some tickets away for that. But the reason I mention that now is Robert Kelly is actually, they wanted to do a phoner with him. And I was like, fuck that. Can he come in studio? And they said, yeah, but it's one of those where, you're touring across the country. One night you're in Chicago, then you're in Kalamazoo, then Detroit, and then Windsor, and you're gone. And so he can, but it's on a non-recording day. So he's going to come in studio on Friday, that 27th, before those shows. So we'll mention it a couple weeks out. He'll come in, we'll record something with him on that Friday, and then air it on Sunday. So that'll take the place of the Sunday show, which would be the 29th or whatever. So we look forward to having Robert come by. Again, it's Haddon's Comedy Club in Windsor, Friday, September 27th. RobertKellyLive.com for tickets, or hahahaddons.com. I hope I'm saying that right. 519-564-0787. And the saga of the New York Times, Jay, continues.
Finger pointing going on.
Oh, man, lots of blame. Lots of blame game going on. I ain't buying any of it. I don't know about you, sir, but this appears to be nothing short of a hit job, as we thought all along. I love these New York Times reporters going, what happened was the editors
Well, here's
changed
the
it."
deal. New York Times reporters wrote a book, and the New York Times is then putting excerpts in, as will happen.
Yep.
And the excerpt did not include that
Small
critical detail that the new allegation against Brett Kavanaugh, now Justice Kavanaugh, that new allegation is not supported by the alleged victim. The alleged victim didn't remember the incident.
Has
that's
no
alleged,
recall of it.
no recollection, and did not comment on it.
And so that doesn't...
But that was left out, so it was everybody reading the excerpt that was put into the New York Times was led to believe that, oh, wow, new allegation, and this happened per some alleged victim.
And the FBI ignored it because it's all a conspiracy just to get Kavanaugh onto the bench, the Supreme Court. I love seeing the hero of the left, it was the old bird, RGT, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, RBG, coming out going, look, he's a justice. He's very smart. He's very good.
Hired a whole staff of women.
All women.
Yeah,
Every
and he always
one of his
has.
staff.
That wasn't like a reaction.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Oh, watch this. I'm going to hire a bunch of women. He's had tons of female law clerks.
And that's what she pointed to. Like, look, we've never had someone whose entire law clerks are all women. He's staffed only females. I don't know if that's 100%, but it sounds like he might have only hired women.
I thought I read that he only hired female law clerks, yes.
Now, is that legal? I mean,
Well, if they're the best, he judges them the best. I don't think he went out. He will never admit going out there and just choosing women for the sake of choosing women.
No one would bitch, though, even if he did, even though that would be highly illegal.
Now, people would bitch. They'd say, oh, so you can prey upon these women in your office.
So it's all women there.
That'd be
You
the
want,
angle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You want to have your dick thrown in their face.
Yeah, you want to pull your dong out in front of only chicks.
You want to pull your dong out and then have a friend push your dong into those chicks.
Into their hands.
Right, into their hands.
What if that's the story, right? Because those are the details. His dick is out.
Yeah, how did this happen?
Well, here's the only way I can think this happens. It's like, Cavs is at it again. Cav, show him that thing. You were showing me the helicopter move. And he's like, fuck yeah. He pulls his dong out and he starts helicoptering. And then there's a chick sitting like from me to you, and one of his buddies comes up from behind and just starts shoving him, and she goes, ow, stop.
Right.
Puts her hands up. Now she's made contact with a dong.
Defensive motion.
Yes, as in, halt, stop, in the name of dongs.
Right, and it whacks her in the hand.
And then when you just,
But then she loses all recollection of said event.
would you lose recollection
No.
of that?
No.
I would argue, you don't have to be like Yale smart to not forget an incident like that, unless it was so common. So common. I mean, I don't remember going to many parties where dicks were present.
No.
You know what I
But
mean?
there
Like,
definitely were those dudes who would just freely pull their dicks out,
yeah.
in
We
gym
didn't-
class, whatever. Like, I totally remember that.
But we didn't hang out with, our group was not a big,
Booze, people.
Wait a minute. I thought you said, what's your...
Yeah, Deuce will. Deuce will do it.
Deuce would pull his balls out.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Big
that's...
difference.
I don't
Big
think it's a big difference at all. I think it's worse.
Yeah, it's, well,
It's
It's
equal
different.
for sure,
It's
but
di-
I think it's worse.
It was not predatory in nature.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
going for a laugh. He would do it equally in front of guys and girls. And
it was just
I
shock
don't think
value.
most of the time people
It was
pull
just
their
like,
dick
oh
out
my
as in
God,
predatory nature.
Is
I
that a
think
baby Robin? No, that's Deuce balls.
yeah, Deuce would do it. See, don't paint this with the hashtag Me Too paintbrush, okay? Me Too didn't exist. Nobody cared back then.
Rules were different back then.
Rules were different.
I'm not
E.
saying that, but you said you wouldn't hang around those people. I gave one
No,
example off the bat.
I did not say I would not hang around those people. I said I don't think we did. Like
Yeah.
I think of our core group.
I agree
but
with
then
you.
throw the Deuce in there with the ball bag.
Deuce had the ball bag, and I do remember Deuce Dong, but I've known Deuce longer than you have.
Yeah, I've known Deuce Dong.
But
for
I
a
don't
long
think. But
time,
you also
too.
said that they're not. He wasn't doing it in a predatory manner. I don't think that most of the guys that were pulling their dicks out were doing it in a
Well,
predatory manner. I think.
You think of it as harmless fun?
Yeah, I think of
Horseplay?
Yes, that's what I think of. For the most part, when I think of a
Oh,
guy in
boy.
a gym class going like, "Hey, look at my dick," in the locker room, I assume that's horseplay for the most part.
Pulling your dick out in a locker room full of your boys is definitely horseplay.
Yes.
what I
Now,
was-
if you pin down the young freshman and make him lick it, that's wrong.
Well,
And I wouldn't
wasn't
encourage anybody to
insinuating
do
that. I didn't think that was happening.
In Deuce defense, Deuce would not just lay upon a female his balls. Usually the way this would go, and this happened when we worked at Roosevelt's together, usually we would have to wear aprons. And Deuce, he's a hard worker. And so he would go on, we would do this usually on New Year's Eve. He would have his balls out with his apron covering it. So technically he's still clothed. And then he would find a young table of willing participant females to engage in a side wager. $10 says I have my bag out underneath
friendly
the
wager.
apron.
Friendly wager.
If they went gross and threw a beer in his face, he's not go,
So-
look at my bag, look at my bag. They would go, no, you don't. He'd go, I do. Do you want to take the wager? And they're like, right now, keep your hands where they are. You're saying that your balls are hanging out under your apron. He'd go, yep, I'll take that bet.
Boom.
Oh!
$10, huh? Ian?
Eruption of laughter
Yeah,
from
well, you
the
know
table.
what? I mean, it's funny how that's okay. You guys are just laughing that off, and I had a very similar thing that didn't involve the customers at all. I mean, my thing only involved workers.
Oh, Ease
E.
was gross and
Not even
predatory.
comparable.
That was ugh. It was Ease Dong.
It was
well,
your
other people's
dong.
dongs too in that place. I mean,
And yours is your dong, not balls. Balls are more funny.
Actually, that's not technically true. It was both. I mean, the
you showed-
Batwing there was how that game goes is there's different points for whatever.
You did a
for-
Batwing?
Yes, that was the one that got me fired.
Kentucky wristwatch?
No,
Listen, dongs are way more aggressive.
Way more.
Ball, it's just, it's a lot of fun.
I really
There's a
disagree,
hell of a
but-
lot of fun.
A dong looks like a cyclops missile
Yeah.
when coming at you straight ahead. You know what I mean? It's veiny. It looks like it's angry, and you never know what's going to spit at you.
Just a ball sack.
Just a ball
no
sack.
problem. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, nah. No harm, no foul. Now that's harmless fun.
okay.
So
Good,
yeah,
clean fun? No, but harmless.
harmless. And again, this is a different time period, right? Ball sacks, gratuitous, unwelcome nudity was welcomed at the time.
Yeah.
Was hardly frowned upon.
So you think this allegation? Let's say Kavanaugh has his dong out. You'd think it's one of these where the girls pushed into him, huh? And it's a defensive thing.
It sounds like one of his
'Cause I
friends
thought
pushed
the-
him into her.
Yeah, I thought the allegation was someone pushed his dick into a girl's hand.
That's what I thought so too. I thought
Yeah.
that's how you worded it.
Like,
It
how
was
does
worded.
that? I mean, how big is this dick? Let's
Well-
say he's standing there. I don't.
Can you push a dick into a hand? I think it means you push from behind, and the force pushes the dick forward into a defensive hand.
Do you have the quote?
Yeah, I stopped highlighting because we're so familiar with it, but
I think we need clarity on this
okay.
one point.
reporters Robin Pogrebin and Kate Kelly wrote that at a drunken Yale University party decades ago, the future Supreme Court justice dropped his pants and a friend pushed his genitals into the hand of a young female student.
See, that's not a push in the back. That's a taking his genitals and pushing them in. Like, how
a
is this
hand.
working, man?
You wouldn't push your boy's dick and balls into another
I know.
person's hand. You just would. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. And
Especially
there's-
back then when gay wasn't cool. You know what I mean? Like touching
Absolutely.
dicks wasn't cool then.
I mean, if you could get your boy to rest it on his shoulder or something and then have him freak the fuck out, that's all fair games. That's simple fun, hijinks. if you will.
Polaroid when he's passed out.
Sure.
Nice Sharpie marker mustache and a ball sack on his shoulder.
Countless images
That's
of that.
hilarious.
It's hilarious. Always has been, always will be.
Touch the genitals of,
Touch
of
'em?
one of your buddies, and no.
If I
That's
pulled my dong
not
out,
in the
Jay-
80s. Not in the 80s.
Not a chance in the early 80s?
No.
No. If I pulled my dong out at a party, the odds that Jay, I don't care how
I
many
might
beers
kick
deep,
it. I might kick it.
you might kick it. I don't even think you'd flick it, though.
No.
You might kick it. And
I'm
you,
not flicking it. I might kick it into a girl's hand.
But I don't even know how that's possible. Like,
But-
I mean,
Right, but then where's her hand in relation to this? Like, this has to be a monster dong that, like, you
Yeah.
just picture flopping around this room.
Pendulum-esque.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't even kick it. You would have to, at a minimum, be wearing a sock.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like, if you're
No
barefoot.
bare skin of mine is touching your dong. I'm on
Good to know.
record.
I'm on record saying the exact same thing to you as my friend. It's just not going to happen. I don't care if you're paralyzed and I'm your male nurse.
A thick rubber sole, however, boom.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that. Like, get it away. And it'd be
Yeah.
more of a like, what are you doing?
Ah.
God, get it out of here. No one needs to see this. Whack.
And I would try to engage with the sole on my shoe, not the top, not the laces, because I have to touch the laces.
Great point.
Yeah, that's how far I would go.
You would try to put a sole tread onto my shaft.
I'm not looking to hurt you. I'm
No.
just looking to get it out of there.
Send a message.
Hey, man.
It's too close to me. I can feel it radiating. Get out of here. Beat it.
Ugh.
No, on second thought, don't. So, yeah, the reporters are saying that the editors deleted the information that would have weakened the story's central premise. They told MSNBC host Lawrence O'Donnell.
So you don't
hammering.
You don't think? Oh yeah, that's him. You don't think that's plausible though? That they write a book and they have the facts in there, and then New York Times takes it and goes, "This would be even juicier if we took out this little fact."
Yeah, sure. If you're a hack media outlet, sure.
You're the New York Times.
You're the fucking Times of the. I mean, dude, you're supposed to be the record of.
You are a hack media organization.
Oh, I know. It's shameful that it's gotten to that point. That's shameful. But anybody who knows anything about reporting and how it works, like, you submit your story to an editor, and an editor goes through it and will go through and check your sources, double check, triple check your sourcing, right?
This is
Since
different,
there
though.
is
This
no
is
sourcing. No, I know.
It's just an excerpt.
But if they take that out, they go, oh, yeah, that sucks to add that to the story, because then it makes the story totally worthless. There's no victim anymore. What is the problem?
Correct.
The person you're
Correct.
claiming is a victim
And you don't
goes,
think it's plausible the New York Times did that?
I think it's sad and pathetic.
Yeah.
And then they would give it back to you for final approval before it goes to print. So then it's their job, if they're actual reporters, to go, wait a minute, whoa. Why would you take this key thing out of here? This is an excerpt from the book. This is in the book, and this is a relevant fact to that story. This cannot go to print missing this piece.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened here, but I find it plausible that the New York Times would pull something like that.
Yeah. Well, I know that Trump has been, he should sue for libel, blah, 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 blah. The justice, Supreme Court justice, he should sue for defamation. Fuck the New York Times. Like, and you know what? He's right. At this point, this man should sue for libel, and he could probably prove damages. This is getting to be so grossly inappropriate and out of line. Like, you even have Democratic people, not ones that are running for president. Obviously, those people all still want him impeached for something, God knows what, because it makes a good soundbite for.
Because he lied.
Yeah, sure. Because that's the way the system works, and they know that. They know they're fucking lying.
So let me understand. If we don't have the alleged victim, so this is just a party goer who says they saw this?
Yeah.
That's the guy you referenced
Max
yesterday, right?
Steyer, yeah.
Who has incentive to not like Brett Kavanaugh.
Who's apparently gone toe-to-toe with him in big cases for his whole career. And
So that's the source of this information. Then when they went to the alleged victim's like, I don't
know
have
what
a
you're
comment,
talking
and I
about.
don't know what you're talking about. Got it.
And then Christine Blasey Ford, for her part, her high school friend, that, she was like, there's 4 people. There was like the Mark guy, whatever, Mark Judge, was that his name?
Sounds right.
Something like that, some weird name. And then there was this one chick. Oh, yeah, they can corroborate it. And she's quoted in this new book, that comes out today, by the way, by the New York Times reporters, all about the Brett Kavanaugh investigation. And she's like, she's since revealed she had no confidence in the story. Leland Kaiser, she was named by Ford as a corroborating witness to the alleged drunken assault 36 years ago.
Name.
She, Kaiser's a Democratic supporter who was previously married to Bob Beckel.
Bob Beckel.
Fat guy, Fox
Okay.
News,
Yeah.
has a drug problem, drinking problem. Remember him?
Yep, absolutely.
Liberal commentator. Most recently a Fox co-host. And I don't know if
he was
did
on
he
the
s-
5, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was an original guy on the 5.
There were a couple guys that got blown out from the Me Too movement.
Hmm.
Hashtag Me Too. Was he part of the hashtag Me Too, or did he say something?
You're thinking of Eric Boland?
Him too. There were a few
Yeah,
of
maybe
them.
Beckel did. I don't know.
And then Boland, yeah. I thought if you look up Bob Beckel, like what he was blown out for, it could have been. But I know he's battled prescription drug addiction and whatnot. They used to be married. They now run a podcast together. In the book titled "The Education of Brett Kavanaugh: An Investigation," written by the reporters from the New York Times.
Oh, no, by the way, it wasn't Me Too. It was a racist remark.
Oh, it was. What did he say?
Damn.
Well, it's one or the other. We threw a dart, man. We knew it was one of them.
Making a racist remark to a black IT worker. Let's see what he said.
Really? Boy, from the libs, I wouldn't. That doesn't sound.
Couldn't handle having a black man fix his computer. Stormed out of his office when our client, a black IT employee, came to service his computer, telling our client that he was leaving his office because he's black. To make matters worse, after our client lodged a complaint about Mr. Beckel's racist behavior, Mr. Beckel, in front of Chief Human Resource Officer Kevin Lord, attempted to intimidate our client and persuade him to withdraw his complaint. All right.
Boy, that sounds in the world we're living in, at the place he works, with the title he holds, Bob Beckel, liberal lion. That seems really hard to believe that a black kid would come into the service his computer and he'd be like, I'm leaving my office. Why? Because you're black.
I know.
That just doesn't even seem possible.
He is an old dude. I don't know. Who knows?
He's not that old. Whatever. Obviously, they believed something because they blew him out. But so, yeah, Leland Kaiser going to say, I just really didn't have confidence in the story. Those facts together, I don't recollect, and it just didn't make any sense. It would be impossible for me to be the only girl at a get-together with 3 guys, have her leave, and then not figure out how she's getting home. I think something maybe happened, but I don't know what. And I haven't been close enough to her over the years to know that something went down. I haven't seen her in a long, long time. So that was her corroborating witness
right.
at the time, you know. Speaking of journalists, and it's probably for the best, because Cokie Roberts will be rolling over in her grave.
Down goes Cokie.
Yes, you know the stuff. I liked Cokie Roberts.
I'm neutral on Cokie Roberts. Sure. Fine. Not fine. I don't know.
She didn't. Okay, look, listen. Back when I would see Cokie Roberts, it was in brief bursts, right? And I don't mean see her in person. I mean see her on my television.
Okay.
She was working for ABC. I was not a big news junkie at the time. Wouldn't have been the first thing I was watching. But I do remember Cokie Roberts on the Sunday morning programs.
I remember her fondly.
I don't remember her pushing an agenda.
I remember her more in a neutral manner. whatever. It's
Yeah.
Cokie Roberts.
Yeah.
Dead at 75.
I didn't even know she was sick. She had the titty cancer.
Titty cancer took her down, huh?
Yeah. She passed away Tuesday, complications from breast cancer. Story career over 40 years in TV. And you know what? You got to respect that. As a female journalist, going back 40 years,
Yeah.
the shit Cokie Roberts must have seen and put up with. You know, you could say that about Barbara Walters and a lot of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Cokie would have gone through some. She would have really been at the forefront of some unfair treatment.
She's a trailblazer.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. She worked at NPR for a long time. ABC News president James Goldston said, a true pioneer for women in journalism. She was born.
To a poor black family?
Oh, we settled on Cokie Roberts. Her actual name was Mary Martha Corrine Morrison Claiborne Boggs.
Jeez.
How do we get Cokie Roberts from Mary Martha Corrine Morrison Claiborne Boggs? What? Can someone explain to me how you get 6 names? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names.
I don't know, man.
So her official name, I guess, is Mary Martha Corrine Morrison Claiborne Boggs Cokie Roberts. She was born December 27th, 1943. The daughter of 2 politicians, Hale Boggs,
Okay.
a former House Majority Leader from Louisiana in the 40s. Whoa. Woof. That household must have seen some shit. And then her mom, Lindy Boggs, who succeeded her husband in the job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So died in office and she slid in, huh?
Yeah, it's just, cool. It's great. Hale Boggs, I mean, that's how it usually works. Your dad's a engineer at Ford, and then if something goes wrong,
Just so happens my mom is the most qualified person to put in this position.
for this job, I mean, if something, God forbid, would have happened to my dad while he was an engineer at Ford, I would expect that my mom would have slid in and just become an engineer at Ford, taking his seat,
Transit, Pat Walters.
So, yeah, House Majority Leader from Louisiana, and then Lindy, comes along and succeeds her husband in the job. So
It's like
obviously,
Isis found that Cokie Roberts got her nickname Cokie from her brother Tommy. Tommy.
yeah, Tommy, hell yeah.
He couldn't say Corinne, so he called her Cokie instead. The name stuck.
I don't. Why wouldn't he call her corny? Why Cokie? Cokie's harder to say than Corinne.
I don't know, man.
Isn't it? I think Tommy's.
Tommy was probably a little guy.
Yeah.
When he
He
came
started
up with
doing
that.
blow in the bathroom. Cokie, Cokie, Cokie. What about Roberts? We ashamed of the Boggs name?
Did she get married?
So, maybe. She may be married to Roberts. Yes. So she started as a former foreign reporter for CBS in the 70s, joins NPR in 78, joins ABC News in 88, and still stayed on at NPR doing political commentary. Started out at ABC as chief congressional analyst for This Week with David Brinkley. Those eyebrows on Brinkley,
Yes.
they were like,
Wait, are you thinking Donaldson? Sam Donaldson?
didn't David Brinkley, I might be thinking Donaldson.
Unkempt, huh?
No, I think
You could be right.
David Brinkley, I thought, had the eyebrows that were like kind of like Count Dracula-esque, like
Vampiric.
vampiric, yeah.
No, I think you're thinking Sam
I might
Donaldson.
be, yeah.
Because here's David Brinkley.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking of Sam Donaldson. Yep, my apologies. Ignore that last 30 seconds. She later became an anchor alongside Sam Donaldson
Yeah.
from 96 to 2002. Over a 40-year career, she won many major awards in
What a
journalism.
goofy looking ass he is, huh?
Yeah.
God
He's
damn
just
it.
waiting to be mocked on SNL, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's just, look at that hair.
My lord.
Look at those eyebrows. Even at the very end, they stayed black and true and bushy.
He wasn't dyeing the brows.
Yeah. Do we still have Sam Donaldson?
Boy, that's a good question.
I mean, that's a coin toss to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my guess is no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no as well.
It looks like, I mean, his Wikipedia just says born March 11th, age 85. It doesn't look like
Wow.
it says death.
All right, good.
Still with us.
So over 40 years, she won many major awards in journalism, 3 Emmys, received more than 30 honorary degrees. Do people really give a shit about those honorary degrees?
Yeah, what's the deal with honorary degrees?
Can we
You go to
deep
speak at
dive-
the commencement, and so they give you an honorary degree, you know?
Like a degree in what? Honorariness? I mean, what does that degree mean? Like, is that something you frame and put on your wall and like get a job
didn't
because
Dr.
of it?
Huxtable get all of
Yeah,
his taken
yeah,
away?
yeah.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
She was inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame and was named one of the 50 greatest women in the history of broadcasting by the American Women in Radio and TV. Roberts was named a living legend by the Library of Congress in 2008, becoming one of few of Americans to ever receive the honor. Diagnosed with breast cancer in 2002, but continued working right up until her death. She appeared on This Week in August and appeared to have lost a worrying amount of weight. When you see that, you know that
yeah.
you just know what that was. Like, oh, he's lost a lot of weight. He's like, yeah, but
That's
not.
cancer skinny.
Yeah, that's AIDS. This, AIDS, cancer, skinny, not
Right.
healthy eating, skinny. enough viewers wrote in like, I'm scared for Cokie. What's going on there? So she had to make a statement saying, I'm doing fine. Looking forward to covering the 2020 election. She's survived by her husband of 53 years, Stephen, their 2 children and 6 grandkids. They wrote, Cokie was first and foremost a wife, mother, sister, daughter, aunt, cousin, and friend. Blah, blah, blah. Her heights in media and journalism took her to the heights of her profession. Blah, blah, blah. Her values put family and friendship, blah, blah, blah. Sad, man. I didn't even know she was sick.
Well, they're a nice recognition, honorary degrees, and probably look good hanging on the wall. Honorary degrees are not real degrees.
Oh, really?
No shit.
What?
You mean Cokie didn't matriculate from 30 different universities?
Apparently not.
In other words, being awarded an honorary degree is not the same as earning an actual doctorate.
Good to know.
In fact, an
Wow.
honorary degree is a degree honoris causa, Latin for the sake of honor. They are not used to further one's career, fatten one's bank account, or dress up one's resume. If anything, honorary degrees draw more attention to the college or university bestowing the honor. I would agree.
How do we get one of those? Like, we've got a key to the
Got a
city.
key to the city.
Could we get an honorary degree? I don't care if it's from Schoolcraft.
Wouldn't you prefer OCC?
Sure.
Honestly, to school.
Why? Why?
Because E used to go. Didn't you attend there?
OCC? Sure.
Yeah. You guys could go and
Right.
be like, "Hey, look at us, huh?
Exactly. Look what can happen.
Look, we got to the mountaintop after
What would it take?
matriculating at your university."
Do you know anyone up in the higher ups? I know your kid's in the band now.
I don't
like
know
they
anybody at
could
State.
pull some strings for us. What about El Presidente? He's making a fool of himself running around in a
Sparty
costume.
Libre.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh,
we're gonna have to
Whoa,
delete that, man.
sorry.
Yeah, don't
Edit.
out
We'll fix that in
Sparty
post.
Libre.
We'll fix
my
that in
goodness,
post.
sorry.
Sparty Libre is Sparty Libre. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ. I mean, do you think like who's the asshole that used to ride his bike around?
Used to? Johnny Spirit?
Johnny Spirit.
Did you just say used to?
He's still doing
Oh,
that.
yeah, man. He started before I went there.
Yeah.
And when I went there, it was kind of like a cool thing. Like, oh, shit, that dude paints himself for everything. He goes
Not
to everything.
really.
Well,
It was starting
at
to
least it was at
lose
least
its-
like remarkable, kind of. Like, oh, there he is again. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he probably started that 5-6 years before I was even there.
Did he
He's
graduate
still
from there?
dude? I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy except that he's still there.
And he's still shirtless, painted.
He's been wearing a shirt for years.
Really?
Well, it's like a tight, skin tight shirt with the black S on it, so he doesn't have to paint himself every time.
Oh, no
He paints
kidding.
his face, and then he has like a
turtleneck.
collar. You know, yeah, it's like a turtleneck style
Yeah.
shirt and it's super tight.
And then he's got the white and green striped shorts.
Yeah, I think so. Rides a bike, man.
Dude, I remember him when I lived up there off of, whatever street. And he would ride his bike down my street all the time.
Yeah,
Weird hours on
Yeah.
game day or something. Here to go, right? Just biking around the
still
fucking
doing
neighborhood.
it. I don't know how he does. You know what I mean? Like, how do you have a life, man?
Does Michigan State recognize him? Can he go on the field at games?
No.
Because I always kind of got the feeling like he was more of a nuisance to
There
them
he is, man.
than
Look at
anything.
Jonathan Spirit.
Yeah. Like, isn't he viewed more as like
Yes,
the
yes.
school's little embarrassing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think probably everybody my age and above looks at that and goes, "Oh, dude, what the fuck?" There might be some younger kids or whatever that look at him and go, "Ah, that's kind of cool," you know.
I mean, at some point it becomes cool again, right? At some point it'll be like,
I think you're right. I think if you make it
he's
to
hit 50 years doing this.
because
you
how
know,
long
like-
did it take? What's his name, dude? At those Tiger games, man. The old dude at the
Oh,
Tiger.
the brow.
Yeah, that his nickname? Because
Wait, the hot dog guy?
no. The guy that would be like,
With the homemade signs.
yes,
The brow.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't remember that was his name even. But like that guy became. I have pictures with him.
Yeah, he
as a
became
kid.
a thing.
So I think.
But here's the thing about Spirit, though. He's not like super outgoing and kind
No.
to people.
oh, that's okay.
No.
That's what
He's kind of like
I've heard that.
standoffish. Like he'll
He'll
go up and down the rows and stuff, but I never got the feeling like he was like happy-go-lucky and
Taking pictures with kids.
Yeah.
He was really hard to get to do interviews. He didn't want to do interviews. Like he kind of had rabbit ears when people talked shit about him and made fun of him. And yeah, you're right. He didn't seem like a super.
Yeah, there's the shirt. You see
Oh,
the shirt?
wow.
See, that's when it's different. Why is he? I don't know anything about it, but why is he doing it? If it's not for that reason, if the
Well,
reason
that's
is
what's
not,
weird.
it's
People
weird,
just
dude.
ignore him. Like I said, when
Yeah.
I was there, it used to be kind of a thing. Like, oh, here comes that dude. You know?
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh my god, what the fuck?
But see,
Here
yeah,
comes
don't
that
you?
dude?
But if he were,
That's the whole thing because I've never understood why isn't Johnny Spirit embraced? Like there's a guy that goes to 49er games and I think he's still doing. He plays a banjo.
and everybody should be
he's
getting
got
selfies with him, right?
I have pictures with him as a
Yeah.
little kid.
Yeah, that doesn't happen with Spirit.
No, there's some disconnect.
There is.
With Jonathan.
Maybe we can mend that bridge.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like if something happens to Jonathan, God forbid. I mean, do they bestow an honorary degree on him? Do they act like that was a sad chapter in the history of this university?
Does he get Ernie the Can Man treatment? Is that what you're asking?
Who's Ernie the Can-
Ernie the Can Man was beloved.
Really?
He was a guy, a quote bum guy who went around taking cans out of classrooms and stuff that were left behind,
Yeah,
turning them in for.
I remember him now.
Yeah, but the big rumor was, oh, he's super rich, super rich. He's just doing this because he
Yeah.
doesn't want to sit at home or whatever. And he was cool, he talked to you a little bit if you said hello and stuff. He wasn't standoffish at all. But he ended up dying out on the street, man. He froze
Really?
to death. And the crazy thing
Fuck.
is people really like that guy, and there are hundreds of kids there who would have taken him in,
Really?
if they
Yeah.
knew that
Yeah.
he was struggling or needed a place to stay.
See, those eccentric, kind of weird, overly spirited guys can make a name for themselves. Who's the guy that's that is in the bleachers for the Cubs games? Ernie?
I don't know.
Look up Ernie Woo Woo. Find video of Ernie
Sounds
Woo Woo.
familiar.
And I think he was annoying for a while, and now it's become a staple. He might have died too, but I remember going and like Drew and Riley and us, we would go to games at Wrigley, and it was like you get box seats down by the field for $30, or you could spend $80 a ticket and go into the fucking bleachers. Like that's where you want to be in Wrigley Field is the bleachers. And I think his name is Ernie. I think I have an autograph of his.
Looks like
on
Ronnie.
Ronnie Woo Woo, and he would just call out players' names. Like whoever, and then woo woo.
Shit, this is a long.
You do the woo woo.
Yeah, see if you get video of him.
Yeah, okay, this is a long.
Be like Ken Griffey Jr. Woo woo.
Woo!
Really?
Eric Carey, woo woo! Like the whole game.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that becoming a thing.
See, find video
Unique.
though. There's video. There's got to be video of Ronnie Woo Woo out
Dude,
there.
the brow was the best, man. The
Which-
brow. You don't remember the brow? He had crazy eyebrows.
Eyebrows.
Old man, wear an old beat up hat, and he had these. He was a cheerleader.
Yeah, he was fucking dude. I remember him vividly.
He'd go
still
around
to this day.
like the Silverdome when the Pistons were there, and he'd come down in your section. And
Here,
he'd
you
hold
find
up
a video for
some
me?
dumb sign, with some cheesy cheer on it, and the whole section would start doing it.
Yeah.
But he passed away.
it was a
probably
big
20
deal. I
years
remember
ago.
that. I don't. It was 20. I think it was less than that, but whatever.
What is this? They're making a movie?
Oh shoot, I don't know. It just.
Woo Life?
There you go. To your point, Mike.
Oh
This shit can hit sometimes, right?
Well, it looked like him. So.
There he is. Woo Life trailer. Fox. Yeah.
That
go
does
for
not
it.
surprise me that someone would do a
Go
documentary.
click on
about
that.
him.
Yeah. Top one. Yeah, go ahead. It looks like that's going to be a documentary on him. I don't know. Let's play it. Let's see if it goes anywhere. These guys. This is what they look forward to in life.
It's the devotion, man.
I was headed down this path in reality. I think if something hadn't changed.
Yeah, you could have been.
I was close.
I'd love to do a story on the guys that didn't quite crack through.
You know.
The guys.
Pastime.
Look at his
Passion
jerseys.
drove one
He's got
man
all
to
his
Wrigley
woo-woo
Field
jerseys.
for 3,000 games and turned a homeless man into America's greatest sports fan. Now, in the 7th inning of his life, he has one dream left. But the last thing the largest media company in the world wanted was a homeless mascot.
There he is, sleeping in his box.
Want this guy to sing the
Take me out to the ball game during the
seventh
7th inning stretch.
stretch. We want you to do this.
Go
Why
see
would
if you
the
can get any of the
Cub organization not
woo-woos.
say, you know what?
Man
This
cow.
guy's the ultimate, and we love our fans, and you know what? Today,
So obviously this was his dream to sing the "Take Me Out to the Ball
I
Game."
had this big dream. I would be the mascot,
Well, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I
Joe-
don't give a shit about him doing that.
Joe Diroff was the brow, and he passed away in 1997. He
Okay,
was-
shit, okay.
Believe that shit? Let's go bananas! He'd scream, holding up a plastic
Yes,
banana.
dude. I remember catch up. We will catch up. He had the ketchup bottle.
Jesus, pull up the brow to remind
Okay,
Mike
let's-
who he is.
Here, I think he's got woo woo first.
Okay.
There he is.
It's more repetitive than I
Yeah.
envisioned. Does he stop?
No, I can't
He's
remember.
got
I
an
wish-
Obama 08 jersey.
Yeah. People, woo woo is pretty annoying. And that's a lot of times that's how these start. They have that struggle,
Dude,
you know?
the fucking hot dog guy at Tiger Stadium or Comerica that you mentioned in passing a moment ago.
Yeah.
That was so annoying.
Yeah.
The opera singing dude.
And he wouldn't shut the
He
fuck
didn't
up.
even hold like a good tune. It was
No.
just a repetitive.
And then remember they stuck him like, okay, you can only work this section because
Yes.
you're driving the ballpark
Yes, he
nuts.
started bitching about it. Remember that?
Yeah, getting newspaper articles. He
Yes.
was an attorney, or is an attorney, and then I thought it was like, you can do it between the 8th and 9th inning. Like they whittled it down so much.
There's our guy, the brow
Oh
man.
yeah, I remember him that hat too.
Look at the digital watch turned upside down.
Oh yeah,
Wrist face first.
hell yeah. God, there's some characters, man. I think of the barrel guy that looks like he's
Yeah.
nude in Denver.
Yeah.
There's probably barrel guys in multiple cities.
It's the consistency of attendance that kills me, though.
Dude, that's why I
just
couldn't
don't
do it.
understand, like how Spirit does it, how
Right.
the Brow did it, how Woo Woo apparently does it. It's like,
Yeah.
man.
That's why I couldn't. I guess that's why I never really moved. I would have liked to have. I remember like when I was going to those Piston games, in the era there where they were winning. 2000. I had a package for a little bit stuff, and dude, it was every game. I'd paint my arms red and blue, and in the face, and I had
I could see you getting back into that.
I'd have to be right for the right reasons. I already.
No, I know you're not going to do it for a shitty team. I get it.
I already said I would paint my face for a Lions home playoff game, but my point is, like, I remember at the time, like, I won 100% at that point. Like, I don't know how these guys do it, but if I could have gotten season tickets and I just had some situation where it happened,
you'd have done it.
I would have done it. I remember, like, being in
putting it up in no. See, you're thinking about this all wrong. You don't get the season tickets to be the retard that paints his face. You do it without any reward for 30 years, and then they give you the season tickets.
I'm not asking for season tickets from them. I'm saying that if I had been able to buy tickets or something, I'm not saying I was asking for them.
It's the decades of devotion.
I know.
It's the devotion.
My God.
I guess
like
I just
Johnny
didn't have it
Spirit's
in the
not
end.
buying tickets to games now, is he?
No idea.
I mean, who knows? But I imagine, like, even though there's a very arm's length, love.
I just don't see the
love-hate
payoff for
relationship.
Spirit in this. If anybody's been up there and seen Spirit, like, really like pressing palms with fans and stuff, let me know. Because
email us.
I see him up there and he's just kind of like tooling around and waving his pom poms, but nobody's really engaging with him.
When I was there, 96, 97, parts of 96, 97, that was the story. Then was like. He was a cold, standoffish.
He's
fucking,
still doing it.
Yes, like that was
24 years later,
dude. Yes, and that was like back then. He rode by the street, and it wasn't like, "Hey, Johnny Spirit." Like I knew who Johnny Spirit was. I'd worked with the Drew and Mike show the year before as an intern. Like they were talking about Johnny Spirit. He was getting the press. The dude would ride right down my street, and it was like you'd be having a beer on your porch. You wouldn't even yell to him. It was just like, just ghost it, man. Just let him do his thing. So it'd be one thing if what he was getting out of it was adoring kids, wanting photos all the time. But I don't know.
Confounds me. That's what confounds me. Hey, insurance, we all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business. He offers all types of insurance coverage, including but not limited to auto, home, health, life, business, and commercial. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900.
I'm starting to think this Antonio Brown story about him, jacking off on the chick's back.
Yeah.
Things like that are probably more than likely very, very true. I don't want to, I wasn't there. I can't say for sure. There's probably no provable evidence.
Is there more evidence of his character? Is that what's coming out now?
Yes. Did you see this doctor?
Yes.
Is accused the Antonio Brown of farting in his face during a consultation and owing him $11,500 in unpaid fees. And we have video of this, so it's not like we won't be able to show you. Farting in his face.
I know, I was going to say, it's not really...
The man is sitting in a chair, and Antonio Brown is standing up, so, but it's not like he turned and farted in his face. But still, disrespectful as shit.
Yeah.
Right? Dr. Victor Priss claims the former Steelers star laughed about his flatulence after turning up more than 3 hours late to his exam. So there's a few things already. Farting like that in front of your doctor, showing up 3 hours late, not giving a shit, owing $11,500 in unpaid fees. These all point to character things about this guy. That
I
you're
would say so, yes.
Yeah, that this guy doesn't give a shit about anybody.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. So he's got his entourage with him at the doctor's office that are filming him. He's joking, had a lot of fiber, bro, during his body fat examination. Priss told SI, it seemed just childish to me. I'm a doctor, and this man is farting in my face. But Priss continued to treat Brown and explain how he acted as an all-around wellness coach for the athlete. Looking after his diet and training regimen with a verbal agreement of $500 per hour. Brown later made promises rather than payments, telling him, I want to get you on salary. I want you on my team. Priss said he filed a lawsuit this month seeking $11,500 from Brown, which is still outstanding. He tells you he's going to make it totally worth your while. He's going to invest in your business, invest in you. You're a part of my family. Call God and all that, but he doesn't do that, and he doesn't even pay the bill. So let's see. This guy's got any bitch at all. Let's see here. There's one fart.
My bad, Shitty.
I didn't even get that when you're so lean there. It's pretty freaking low. I've done some bodybuilders, and this is pretty freaking low.
There's no excuse for that one. That one was pushed.
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah.
That was intentional. It was pushed.
That was.
He could have held it.
He could have. He didn't.
No.
But he could have. What are you doing?
What's worse, owing 11 grand or farting in a doctor's face? What's he most offended by, that doctor?
I would say being fart in the face. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's just... Because you're right, there was a push there. You don't get that
All right.
without a push. It was impressive.
It's a push.
I don't give a shit. Kellen Winslow Jr., unfortunately, this is sad news, man. His wife and he, after 13 years of bliss and love, she's filed for divorce.
Yes.
Boy, that just breaks my heart.
He's been convicted, right?
On some counts, not all.
Okay.
He's his wife of 13 years has moved for divorce. To divorce the ex-NFL star 3 months after he was convicted of raping a 58-year-old homeless woman and pleasuring himself in front of a 77-year-old woman.
Yeah.
This is, to me, maybe the weirdest story we've ever done. Like, I can't wrap my head around this fucking particular story. I understand urges. I understand, like, all that stuff. But here's a guy in the prime of his life, shredded, like he looks like a fucking superhero, and he's preying on old people.
It's weird.
Yeah. Janelle Winslow filed a petition for divorce in San Diego Superior Court on August 30th. Couple been married since 06, share an 8-year-old son and 5-year-old daughter. How do you explain dad? You know what I mean?
Can't.
It appears the relationship could not withstand some of the more disturbing allegations. Janelle's divorce filing comes a month ahead of her husband's retrial on 8 other charges the jury was deadlocked on, which is set to start September 30th. If convicted of all 8 remaining charges, he faces up to life in prison. He's currently jailed after the judge denied requests to be released on $1 million bail and home confinement. Well, last time they let him out, I think he fucking showed his dick to a woman at the gym twice.
I think you're right.
With like an ankle monitor on.
The urge is strong in that one, huh?
I guess so.
The 35-year-old athlete
I guess so.
has denied all the allegations against him, that he's an innocent man, the victim of a money grab. 78-year-old women are not looking for a money grab from this fucking athlete. Sports Illustrated published an explosive piece detailing his alleged history of inappropriate sexual behavior 3 days after his conviction, including watching porn during team meetings. It's like us sitting here and E's watching porn on his phone right now, which I wouldn't put it past him.
Done that, right? Admit it. No. During the show, you've never watched porn? Not once?
No.
Been doing this a long time.
No, not unless you guys were asking for porn to be. I've played porn on this.
Sure. Weeks after his arrest in 08, Janelle and his father, Kellen Winslow Sr., who was one of the greatest tight ends in the history of the league.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, he
And
was.
Dan Fouts, right?
Yeah,
Fouts
yeah.
For the Chargers.
Wes Chandler.
Yes.
Yep. On behalf of our son and my husband, we want to reiterate our love, support, and affection for him during this difficult process. We will always be there for him when we know the true facts will come out. I think that's the problem, though, Senior.
That could be the biggest problem.
The biggest problem is you don't want the true facts to come out. The couple did put their mansion in Encinitas, California, on the market for almost $3 million in March. Can you believe he made like $45 million?
That's surprising because I do remember him having a really significant injury early. It's not to say he couldn't have signed a big contract early, but I thought he had some ATV thing or something.
Motorcycle.
Okay.
Off season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shredded his knee.
So I feel like he didn't have 2 big contracts, but maybe I'm wrong.
But he got, this would have been before rookie contracts.
Browns, right?
Browns. Yeah, they picked him 6th overall. So the charges against Kellen Winslow, just to recap, 54-year-old hitchhiker, kidnapped for rape, mistrial. Rape by force, mistrial. Oral copulation, mistrial. 58-year-old homeless woman named Jane Doe 2. Damn the Does. Rape. He's found guilty of that. Sodomy, mistrial. Jane Doe 3, 57-year-old Vietnamese woman who says he exposed himself to her when she was gardening. Indecent exposure, guilty. Jane Doe 4.
She's gardening. She's out there in her polyester sensible pants.
Yep.
You know, the tennis shoes. You know, she's got her New Balance tennis shoes on. She's got one of those little shovel things.
Little spade shovels.
Probably has a visor on.
Yeah. Sweaty
like
armpits.
A floral print shirt, short sleeve shirt. She's
Yeah.
just out there.
Yeah, just digging in the dirt.
And
She's
he's
got those
exposing
green
himself
gloves
to her.
on.
The green gloves, yeah.
She's probably, if she's wearing that polyester where sometimes you get that ass crack sweat
See the
seeping
panty
through.
line as she bends over.
Yeah, and it's one of those panty lines that's down here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's not cut to show half an ass cheek or anything.
That's full bottom.
Full bottom, comfort tan. That's all it is. 57 years old, Vietnamese. Never in a billion years does she expect she's going to, that day, while out there just gardening away, she's going to see this man's dick and balls. So, teen claims she was, he raped her in 2003. When she was 17, he was 19. 77-year-old Jane Doe 5, because what more, 77-year-old has nothing to do but to make up false accusations about a young athlete as a money grab. Says he masturbated in front of her in a hot tub. He was found guilty of a lewd act. Another lewd act, not guilty. That's interesting. Willful cruelty to an elder, mistrial. Couldn't reach a conclusion on whether or not this was willfully cruel to this elder. Battery against an elder, mistrial. An 86-year-old woman claims he broke into her house to rape her. That was reduced to a misdemeanor and was not part of the trial.
God, man.
71-year-old woman whose house he allegedly broke into, that also released to a misdemeanor and not part of the trial. While he was out on $2 million bail, arrested for lewd conduct in front of a 77-year-old woman at a gym on 2 separate occasions in February of this year. 77-year-old woman at the gym twice. Charged with drug possession in 2014 after a woman called police because she believed he was masturbating in his car, which was parked outside a Target.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Fuck yeah, Target.
Yeah. It turns out it was a synthetic weed and something like that. And so, yeah, he got a conditional discharge, but he was jacked.
There'd be plenty of material in the Target parking lot. Like if you're gonna go jerk off in the car, Target
Right?
parking lot's where you're gonna want to do it, man. Soccer moms and shit like that.
So the SI report from June described his alleged obsession with sex in vivid detail, how he became notorious for watching copious amounts of porn in socially inappropriate situations and compulsively masturbating. He could count on having an empty seat next to him on any team flight due to his ritual of watching hardcore porn on his portable DVD player.
DVD player, dude.
Yeah.
This goes
Download
back
some.
a long way.
Okay.
Yeah, 2003, 4, 5.
Okay,
The
okay.
iPhone's not even invented until 07.
Okay.
On one occasion, a Browns team staffer went out looking for Winslow Jr., finds him jacking it in the backseat of his Hummer in the parking lot. An equipment manager was bringing gear into the team locker room. He walks in on Jr. jacking it near the entrance to the locker room. During away games, no one on the team wanted to share hotel rooms with him because it was widely known that he was in the habit of watching porn and jacking it without any regard for who was in the room with him. In the early days of smartphones, Winslow Jr. took to watching adult content on his device during meetings. Romeo Crennel, his former coach, former Browns assistant Terry Robisky, made efforts to correct his behavior
Did they?
and impress upon him that his conduct was beyond the pale.
How?
To no avail.
I'd like to have video or audio of those conversations. Like I'd like the exact wording of how those conversations happened.
Yeah.
So do you think that he didn't really approach him, or do you?
No,
think
I
it's
think he
just like,
did. I just think that like
Stop fucking whacking off in meetings,
Jesus,
all right?
it's beyond the pale. Okay?
I believe for sure that they happened. I just would love to know the exact.
Get your dick out of your hand, man.
Jesus Christ, dude! Just
After Winslow Jr. was traded to Tampa Bay, he bought a life-size silicone mold of a woman's torso equipped with vagine and anus, which he would take on the road with him.
God damn.
One team official painted a portrait of Winslow Jr. being as infantile and preoccupied with video games and fucking. All 5 of Winslow Jr.'s accusers testified during the 9-day rape trial. Defense attorneys pointed out inconsistencies in their testimony. He wasn't wearing brown shoes. He didn't even own those brown shoes.
Ugly-ass brown shoes.
Clearly, this is inconsistencies. Last time they were black shoes. So yeah, these women invented these allegations to prey on the wealth of Winslow Jr., who owned $43 million. Prosecutors said the crux of the women's stories didn't change, and the evidence included traces of Winslow's DNA on one of their pants, GPS location placing him where these women said he was. Just a fucking monster, man. You know,
Just an animal.
yeah.
Dude can't get his dick out of his hand.
I mean, come on. But dude, 54-year-old, 58-year-old, 57-year-old, 77-year-old, 86-year-old, 71-year-old, 77-year-old. Like, he's preying on senior citizens. He wants a wrinkled ass,
He does.
beat to shit, fucking hanging loose,
You know the funny thing is,
vagine and anus.
if he didn't,
Pruned up proper.
if he didn't want to, like, I don't know. Again, with all these people, I don't know if the thrill is that it's dangerous or he could get caught. But if he wanted to, dude, he could bone all of these chicks. They would be fucking thrilled, probably, to have for the ones that are still horny, like for the ones that are still into it, they'd be fucking thrilled.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
No, it's got to
Some
be
young,
about
fresh
it's got to
dude with
be.
a-
It's got to be about taking.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It must-
overpowering someone and
Right.
Or the
That'll
fear,
work.
the look of horror on their face,
Yeah.
like, oh my God, is this guy going to kill me? I think the gardening Vietnamese woman, I believe she was bent over, perhaps pruning a rose bush. I don't know. And didn't he walk up and yeah.
jeez.
I thought he walked up and just kind
to
of
prune a rose bush.
something like that. I want to say there's,
I came to this country. I thought it would be better here.
yeah, it's not. Who is this strange giant man behind me pressing against
Well,
my
you know that
butt
dude.
crack with a
He can
hard
play
on?
football really well.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta excuse that one.
Speaking of guys that should have played football and probably would have played really well, did you see this video? I had it yesterday. We just didn't get to it. The two guys having a fist fight
I saw
at the
this.
school, the high school in California, straight out of Stockton. This is in Stockton, California. Yeah, they're fighting. Man wearing black T-shirt and camouflage pants, seen running straight for the kids.
Marine recruiter, right?
He's not technically a recruiter. He's a Marine, and there was a recruiter on campus, and I think this dude was with him.
Okay.
But the Marines are saying he's not technically a recruiter.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so it's he's been ID'd as a Marine, Josue, Hosu,
Josue. Huh.
Hosu.
I don't know. Sure. Let's go Hosu.
Let's go. I mean, I don't want to get that wrong. I mean, listen, they just added a U here. Josu Valdez Sarmiento. And so, I don't know. I love seeing these things. He sees a fight break out. You got the video there?
Yeah, this is a little much.
You think so?
It is. So
This
two
fight
kids,
is so pathetic.
yeah, two little middle school dudes throwing haymakers.
Yeah.
It's not a bad middle school fight. You really think this is a bad
it's
one?
not
Honestly,
too bad. Not too bad.
Had several connections to the head.
Oh, down goes one.
Here comes our hero
Yeah.
in the
You're gonna see,
background. Here he comes. Oh, he dominoed him.
Yes. Hell yeah.
He dominoed. Eases. Can we get a good pause at the first impact? This kid, man,
See,
if
it
he's not
won't work in
suffering
this
from
fucking-
whiplash.
I won't be able to. on this
So the kid in the light gray
I don't care.
takes it first. They're trading
it's
them,
an
man.
incredible
I'm sorry.
fight.
but
They're swinging.
this is as good a middle school fight as you'll ever see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So they're still going, kicking, hitting, and here he comes. Boom! I mean,
yeah.
just sticks this kid.
It's fantastic.
So he sticks one completely from behind. He had no idea he was
yeah.
there. Shoves that kid into the other kid, and they both end up on the ground.
And the kid's fucked up, too.
I don't
The Marine
doubt
goes
it.
to pick him up. Yeah, there you go, son. You're all right. Yep. All right. There. Take a little napsy poo.
I wouldn't be surprised if that kid broke a vertebra.
Good.
Honestly, that was so bad. You can't do that.
Yeah, I know. You're not supposed to. He did, though.
Did you pull the other one too? The coach who took out clothesline the kid who ran on the football field.
Oh, no, please. Can I see that one?
Yeah, that one just came out today, I think.
Really? E, do you know what he's talking about?
No.
You just look for that assistant football coach clotheslining kid running on field.
So this guy, Valdez, is a former student. Josu is a former student there at Edison High School, private first class in the Marine Corps. The Marine was on campus that day to help with recruiting, but he is not actually a recruiter. U.S. Marine Major Thomas Driscoll said that Valdez saw a dangerous fight break out. Upon observing that situation, he moved over and broke up the fight. The Marine Corps was proud of Valdez's decision to intervene in the fight, but noted, okay, we'll give you this. The manner in which he did could have been improved. Could have been improved, but we're very proud of him. Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! Semper Fi. Valdez ran towards the children from more than 30 yards away. He got into a top speed.
Yeah, this is absurd. I mean,
It appeared that he did more
impact with this kid. It is ridiculous, right? We all agree. Can we all agree on that?
possible he did
This
more
is
damage to the kids than they were doing to themselves.
Absurd the level of damage he could have done.
The staff of the school allowed the fight to continue for more than a minute without intervening. Student Johnny Hemphill said that Valdez used just too excessive a force on tackling the guys. I feel like going at a kid, especially when he's not looking, makes more of an impact.
Yeah.
Straight out of Stockton police are like, school? That's for you to handle. But the Marines are fucking proud as shit.
Well, here's one. Okay, so a couple knucklehead kids, couple privileged white boys run on a field. I think this is in Wisconsin, Is that okay?
It looks Wisconsin-y.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
Very, very white.
Yeah.
Two 15-year-olds, it looks like. They start from the end zone, and they're going all the way. And they get about 3/4 of the way across the field, and here comes assistant coach guy.
Hell
who's
yeah.
Been
Bob
living,
Sutter.
I mean, for this moment, right?
Yeah.
This is his moment. Here they come.
They said they were going to do it, and they're doing it.
Doing it.
No way.
There's Cooper. There's Cooper and Connor. Cooper and Connor.
No way.
They're at midfield.
Connor's got his
He's
shirt
still
on.
going. He's still going. Boom.
Yeah, motherfucker. How's that feel?
Close-lined.
Boom.
Close-lined. Like, that's the guy who runs the weight room, you know?
Is that Kalen? Did Kalen get taken down by coach?
That kid is shook up, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Now, Jay, honestly, I don't know how things work. Do you think the coach was okay to do that?
Yeah, have a seat,
yes
son.
or no?
No.
Like, no. You know what, though? I thought you would say that. My only thing is, having said that, dude, I love the notion of seeing that kid like being like he's just assuming nothing's gonna happen to me. Oh, I can just do whatever the.
Yeah.
And he just fucking gets owned.
Why doesn't he make a move? Can we back it up to just before impact? I mean, dude, if you're going to run the field, you have to expect.
Yeah, he sees him there at pause, right?
Oh, yeah.
He
It's
sees
not
him.
like he's not looking.
Yeah. It's that a little shimmy, man.
You know this was the talk of the school before this happened.
It's Cooper. There he goes.
No way. Is that Kalen and Connor? Dude, bro.
And, yeah. He almost makes no effort to avoid it.
No.
But you know what? In his defense, I think that arm came up pretty late. You know, he's approaching him for sure, but I don't think he expects like.
Yeah, but you
right?
know
I
what?
don't expect my team's coach to take my ass out to that level.
Well, you know what, Connor? You're going to learn a lesson today. That you think it might be all fun and games to you, but you know his privilege, his whiteness and privilege has kept him so sheltered.
Oh, he's gonna get money, dude.
From the potential of anything happening to him.
What do you mean?
It's not possible for anything to happen to Connor. Nothing's ever happened to Connor, no matter
won't.
what he does.
And it won't this time because he'll get some money probably.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to get any
Oh,
money.
his parents are pissed.
Are they?
Oh, fuck yeah. I think
Switch
this dude's been suspended. I think the coach has.
No, Jay,
he
seriously.
he needs to be hired full time.
Now, I
He
agree.
needs to be the new head coach.
I agree. Again, Jay, I know what you're saying. I agree the coach can't do it, this and that. And I agree that.
And if you're the coach, why? But because you've lived your
But
whole
think
life
about
for this moment. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
That's why.
And you've seen guys become heroes in the NFL when
It's
a
kid.
player.
You can't do that. How is anybody affiliated with a school? How did they get to the point where they think this is going to be okay? Boom. You know, like wrap them up, grab them around the waist, stop them, whatever.
Grab him by the
but
T-shirt.
Yes, you cannot clothesline a kid at full speed.
What
You
if
just can't?
What if you waited till the kid stopped running and then you got in his face and went, "You're ugly. You're never going to amount to anything."
Amount to nothing.
Yeah, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yes.
You can.
That's
That's
fair.
acceptable to
Yes,
do.
Anything verbal is fine.
Now, here's the thing, though. I get it. I get why for one, the parents can get money out of this and all that shit. But honestly, I know he shouldn't have done it. I know the parents can do what they want for a lawsuit. But you know what? I think it's bullshit for them to be mad. I think there should, their kid was an asshole too,
Oh, yeah,
though.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the thought that he wasn't being a cocksucker is not.
I'll put myself in this position. Like, dude, believe me, I'm all about personal responsibility. I'm all about your kid not acting like a fucking fool like that in public, right? But, dude,
I mean, he was just running on the field of a high school
I'm pretty
football game.
pissed at that coach too.
Yeah.
I'm pissed at both of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
it is really
you
just
gotta
a high
I don't
school
know that.
football game, too,
I'm not
by
gonna
the way.
sue him, but I'm gonna hope he's okay. And if there are injuries,
That's
I'm
one thing.
looking at
Oh,
taking it to
dude,
the next
if
level.
there's injuries, if your kid even got a concussion, slight or not,
my God.
anything, or broke a bone, tore his shirt, like, yeah, dude. Here's the thing: kids do dumb things.
Well, what
they
is your
just
stance
do.
though? Because you were excusing the coach.
No, I
a
like
moment
the
ago.
coach. I'm fucking around. I like that. But honestly, I had the coach. Remember, that was like a half-ass science teacher, but he was really the fucking like
You're
football
referring
coach.
to Mr. Kansman.
Is that who I'm referring to?
think you are.
Maybe. And I got lippy with him in a science class, and that dude wanted to fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Took me out in the hallway
Yes.
and like hands on the shirt, I'll fucking end you and shit. I think he lifted me off the ground. Like, dude, he was serious. Like, and it was like, dude, fuck off. I'm a high school kid going nowhere. What do you care? You know? So those guys can be dicks. I had a coach clothesline me. I beat the end on an end around and fucking going on the sidelines to
Well,
glory.
you tattled on him.
I wasn't even high stepping, and fucking dudes on the sideline and just straight fucking clothesline to student.
Yeah, but you had tattled on him for being mean.
I think that the tattling came later.
Wait,
I
can we
don't
back
think
up?
so.
Like, what is the context of this? In gym class or
No,
something?
no, no. When I was playing football,
I don't think it came
organized
later. I
football.
thought that was the point. I thought the whole story.
No, no,
I thought
no,
was
no.
that he called you guys. He'd been mean.
Was it you, Alice?
Yeah, was it you, Alice?
Was it you, Mary?
And then I assumed that happened after that.
No, there were multiple players that tattled because the guy was a dick. He was a total
I
dick.
didn't think that he thought it was you, but I'm just saying my
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
My point was I was pretty sure that would happen afterwards because he was more
But
mad now.
I guess my overall point was going to be high school kids, especially males, boys, hormonally are fucking going crazy, and they're always looking for something wild to do, something crazy. They do stupid shit we did, generations before us did, and they will continue forever. These kids see this stuff in college football games, pro games. They want to emulate it. They're doing this cheers in the stands like the pros do, and all stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that you'd have two kids clowning around, run onto the field. What is the harm? What are you, slowing up the game? No, it's a fucking high school football game. Nobody gives a shit. No one gives a shit. There's no need, to clothesline a kid and
yeah,
wipe
it's
him
not a
out like
safety
that.
issue or something. No,
No. No.
What if he had a knife? What
Good
if he had a
point.
knife?
What if he did? What if he had a machine gun? What if he had a tank?
Yes.
No, I know.
I think it is a safety. I think you do have to stop the kid.
Well, obviously, you're not just going to let him run circles.
What would you do? Because
I think you stop him.
What's the big deal? You're going to delay the game? Yeah, that is a delay to the game. It's bullshit. You shouldn't have these kids running out there. You just simply cannot clothesline them.
I think you would
You
do
can
what
stop
you do.
them.
I think, first off, the kid's got to learn a move or two. If he's going to go out and take the field, he's got to be ready for, a player, classmate of his, an opposing team. One of the coaches might actually clothesline you on the field. It didn't look to me like there was play going on in that moment. It looked like they were in some sort of a TV timeout or something, didn't it? Because they came from the entrance. Back it up, E. I mean, it doesn't look like they interrupted play or they were about to snap the ball. It looked like there was a lot of...
Definitely, the teams were not lined up.
I mean, I wouldn't say lollygagging is going on between the teams, but... I was at that game during it. Boys.
There they go. Yes.
Look at them. They're waving to their buddies.
See, what if he had a knife, Mike? What if he had a knife?
Yeah. I mean, both teams are on their respective sidelines.
It's like before they took the field for kickoff or something, right?
Hold on. I take this back. I don't have a problem with what the coach did. I think it was less of a clothesline and more of trying to grab the kid up. Back it up just before impact again, E. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I just can't do that.
I
on
don't...
Instagram, but so you have to watch it all.
Oh, okay. Tell me you think this is a direct clothesline, or if it looks like he's maybe trying to wrap the kid up, and the kid's just way big of a pussy.
Too much force, man. I mean, these kids.
He's trying to stop him. The kid slows down a little bit.
He took him out by the freaking neck.
He took him out high, but he's not going to be flagged for 15 for using his head.
Oh,
he didn't
my
lead with his
gosh.
head. Raking across the chest. It's a clean hit, man.
As if the kid's gonna get away, and we got to get him now before he jumps the fence, and we never find him again. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
fucking kid. He's enrolled in your school.
Yeah.
You'll get him. Hey, Hamlin Pubs, they're inviting you to their 6 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, their drinks, and their atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkson, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations, as well as the newest location, which of course, Isis, is in Richmond.
God, I got to show you this Florida couple. A couple weird details in the story. I hope you have their pictures, E. Pull them up in a second. Not quite yet. They've been stopped on DUI charges after riding their bikes in the dark without having lights on. Can we reserve drunk driving to motorized vehicles? And I'm tired of this. Like, he was on his horse. He got a DUI on his horse.
On his lawn tractor.
On his lawn tractor. It's like, all right, stop. Can we reserve drunk driving?
Well, it's just being in the road, right?
I mean, dude, I feel like you're doing the right thing. If you go get shit-faced at a bar and then go ride your bicycle home from the bar, and if I drive like a fool, there's only one person I can hurt, me. The problem with getting shit-faced drunk at a bar, hopping in your 4-ton vehicle is you can take out a lot of people. You're not going to hurt anybody on your bicycle. Who? Overall.
Okay, let's say I hit a guy on a bike. I got to live with that. I fucking plastered a guy on a fucking bike. He was drunk. He swerved in front of me.
Yeah.
I got to live with the fact that I killed a guy.
Okay.
Get off the fucking road. You're drunk, man. Call an Uber.
Wait a minute, you know a situation where someone got in front of a car, dude, and so Jay's point is not.
Oh,
to my
yeah,
point.
no, I understand that, but the idea that we're giving drunk driving tickets out to someone on a horse,
so you're just
on a bicycle.
So are you just saying they shouldn't get a drunk driving, but they should still arrest them?
No, I don't. I just think, like,
get him off the road.
You're not you're driving a bicycle. Yes, accidents happen. That's horrible, Jay. You would have to live with that. But
you're allowed to be on a sidewalk, right?
I don't know. Are you allowed to have bicycles on sidewalks? I don't know what the rules are.
Probably violates some ordinance somewhere.
Probably it does. And what about the places like historic, beautiful Franklin that have sidewalks that end? There is no sidewalk between me and historic downtown Franklin.
Then stay out of the road when you're drunk. I don't have a problem with it.
Aaron Thomas and Megan Montanaro
We're a nation of laws.
were detained around 11:40 p.m. on Friday after the deputies saw them cycling without lights. The pair were nearly hit by a vehicle, said to have bloodshot eyes and smelled strongly of alcohol. The deputy explained he put the couple inside the car, and while standing outside, Megan and Aaron took off their clothes and started banging in the back of the cop car.
One of these bucket list things, you know?
Yeah,
I could actually see proposing it. I don't know that
But Gab would go,
I
would you
would not
stop
convince
it?
Gabrielle to pull it off. However, I could see myself going, huh? What do you think?
We're already here.
Yeah, we're in the back of a cop car.
Yeah.
It is on the list.
I could totally see you proposing that, and I could never see her allowing you to follow through with that. When I opened the door to stop them, Aaron was naked and Megan had her pants down. Thomas is an ex-con. He tried to run away from the deputy, however.
Why is the guy naked?
I know. Just
he's got to do
just
just a zip
just
hole.
thread it.
Yeah.
Why are you naked, man?
Well, he had a blood alcohol of 0.145.
That's not that high. I'm sorry, that is not that high.
The second issue I have with this story is, okay, so you are totally cool giving anyone who's had a few beers on a bicycle a drunk driving
You in the
ticket.
road?
Fucking A, man. They when they found him nearby, and he was booked on another charge of theft as he ran off with the police handcuffs on. He wasn't trying to steal your handcuffs, asshole.
I'm sure he'd like to have given them back.
Yeah,
like
he didn't want your handcuffs. Trust me. That's just kicking fucking sand in the guy's face while he's down.
That is, man.
Oh,
That's
it's add a charge of theft
Yeah.
because he stole the handcuffs.
Does that happen every time? Because criminals run away. So I wonder if that's
I don't
something
know.
that for real, like if we're just seeing it here, or if that's regularly charged as theft.
I don't know. It's probably something that's always been available to them to charge, but it takes a special
I bet he was
pair.
just like, dude, you know what though? He probably was like, you know what? You fucked in the back of my cop car. Theft also.
Yeah.
Add it
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Oh.
He has some discretion, and he said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to have to mop that thing out.
The sad thing is, their night started out, it was probably like, they finish up at the bar, and it's like, let's go home and bang or whatever, and responsible thing they feel like they're doing. We rode our bikes here. Next thing you know, they're in a fucking melee with a cop. They're banging in the back of a cop car. He's nude. Now he's charged with theft for stealing the cop's fucking handcuffs.
Do we have pictures, Z?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
This is pretty much what I should expect.
Well,
What the hell happened to her face, man?
I think she resisted arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his lip resisted arrest.
Dang, man.
If you cleaned her up, though, E,
yeah, she's not a bad face.
I
don't know anything
They're
about her
both
body.
way younger than I thought for some reason. Like I pictured.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I pictured like a high to.
what do you
high
think their
40s to
ages
50.
are?
I don't know. They're probably like 31 or something.
He's 31.
She's 28.
35.
Eh.
I hope that's from being roughed up by the cops.
Yeah.
Her face.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's not leprosy.
Yeah, I hope that's not some sort of something.
The lesions.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about those? Because I am.
Yeah. So both Thomas and Madera were taken to the Nassau County Jail. Of course, this is in Florida. Why wouldn't it be? on charges including resisting with violence and exposure of sexual organs. Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Again, why is the guy nude?
I know. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Hey, how much money will you need in retirement? Are you sure you won't outlive your money? Having a plan today means you can adjust as your life changes. Retirement doesn't have to be a mystery. Contact our friend Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial today to learn the answer to one of the most important questions for your retirement. Call 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
We good with reads?
Yeah.
I think we've extended our time too long here, Jay, so I'll hold email for another day or so, if that's cool, unless you guys got anything you need to mention.
No, we are good.
We are good?
Save the rest for tomorrow.
Very, very good. All right, thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you enjoyed today's show as much as we did enjoy doing it. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Have a good rest of the day.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.